everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, as you can see, we've made some major progress on a bunch of very critical projects for the progression of the layout, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. There's been a long time that it's felt like the layout has been going backwards in order to go forwards. And from here on out, it kind of feels more like we're going forwards to go forwards, which is pretty incredible. I want to take you through today the things that we've done to improve the layout, and also recognize that I've got a really big ops weekend coming up in just under a month, and there's still a lot that I need to do to be ready for it. And if you're interested in being part of that ops weekend, you're more than welcome as well. It is the Lakeshores Division Op Around the Clock. I'll have the information down in the comments. We are still looking for more operators. So if you're interested in coming up to Rochester, New York for a weekend of ops on September 18th and 19th, be sure to check out the information down there below in the comments. And who knows, you could be operating here on the Finger Lakes along with multiple other fantastic layouts in the Rochester area, all of which are very much worth operating on. So would love to see you there. But in the meantime, let's talk about how big the improvements are here on the layout and what we still need to get done prior to that event happening. So for those of you who recognize this scene, it doesn't look very different at face value, but there is some big changes that you saw in the intro, right? This, for anybody who doesn't know, is my Seneca Lake scene. It's probably one of the feature scenes on the layout right now, and will probably continue to be a feature scene on the layout for years to come. But the one thing that it's always been lacking, despite my best efforts to put together a very well composed scene, something that can be rail fanned, has always been how dark it is. And in the intro, you saw today that we finally have resolved that issue. There is now track lighting in, just like there will be above a lot of the layout right here over top of the Seneca Lake scene. And holy cow, does it just make an incredible difference as to how this scene presents itself. I am over the moon. And that kind of brings us to the main task that needs to be completed prior to the big ops weekend here coming up in September. So one of the big milestones that we've been able to complete that's taken about a year to really do is the ceiling project. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had friends over on the weekend and a couple of times during the week to help me put up these ceiling panels, and we are now officially done with the main part of the layout, which is pretty incredible. I'm super happy with how the panels turned out. I don't know that I would recommend people use this method moving forward. The description of these panels specifically states that it's not for ceilings, and I can understand why now. It's a very thin and flimsy product. It's a bit of a struggle to get into the seams of the trim that goes between panels. And overall, it was a lot of work to get this done. If you've got the height for a traditional drop ceiling in your basement, just go that route. It's going to save you a whole lot of time. Unfortunately, my basement ceilings are 6'10". I am a 6'3" individual, and by the time you get a drop ceiling in, I'm scraping my head on the top of that drop ceiling. So it just wasn't going to be logistically possible for me, and so I had to get creative with the solution that I pursued. I'm really happy with how it looks. I think the two goals which I wanted to accomplish with that, which was having a surface for light to reflect off of so that I could do a better job lighting, and also the main reason, preventing dust on the layout, are both achieved by this method. So I'm super happy with that. And it also, since it's done, allows me to move on to the next stage in the whole upgrade that we're doing, which is the lighting. You saw me put in the track lighting above Seneca Lake, but there is a lot more lighting to put in. Here's one socket that's waiting for a set of lights just like what's over Seneca Lake, right above the Geneva Industrial Complex area of the layout. And there's plenty more just like that. I've got a couple more fixtures already on hand, ready to put in, which I'll likely be doing as soon as tonight. But we'll we'll acquire the rest of them as time allows over the next couple of weeks. Just need to spread that expense out a little bit. They're not cheap, that's for sure, and neither was the ceiling project itself. So I'm trying not to overextend myself too much, that's for sure. But you'll also notice the big elephant in the room as far as the backdrops are concerned, right? Now this is something recently finished on the layout as well. We actually worked on this during Talkin' Trains Monday. We actually ended up painting the center peninsula backdrop blue. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, Paul, you got these photo backdrops. Are you just going to move to plain blue backdrops? And the answer to that is no. This is just kind of going to be a temporary measure because I just wanted the peninsula to feel a little bit more bright and a little bit more complete. But mostly the reason was that I wanted to make sure there was a layer of protection over the mudded seams on the peninsula backdrops so that nothing got damaged if I ever had to pull the vinyl photo backdrops off of it in the future. And I figured I had a full gallon of this blue paint on hand from before I even decided I wanted to do photo backdrops. So if I'm going to do the seams, I might as well just do the whole thing. That way it's nice. It's a nice reflective, kind of immersive backdrop while we're waiting for those photo backdrops to go up. I'm super happy with how it's looking. Definitely happy it's temporary. It's a good color blue, but I just like my photo backdrops. I love that I've got prototype photos of the exact locations for each of these places, so that's really going to set you in the scene. But for now, the blue backdrops work great. They give me a good idea of what the lighting is going to look like when the photo backdrops are up, because those also have blue sky. And, you know, we can kind of move on from there. So here's kind of a good look at some of the smaller projects that I want to get done prior to Op Around the Clock. Unfortunately, this backdrop redo and ceiling project have not been kind to some of the scenes on my layout. This is a heartbreaking example where you can see that my farmer's field here, my empty fertilized farmer's field, is unfortunately a little bit worse for wear. Some of the grout has come up, and you know there's different places around the layout where that sort of thing needs to be touched up. We've got an entire hillside missing over here from where we connected into Gang Mills. There used to be and will be again a nice little hill here. I'm not sure that'll go in right away, but there's an entire basket worth of trees right over here that's just waiting to go back on the layout. So I'd like to get as many of those back on the layout as I can prior to Op Around the Clock. And you know, big things that need to be done before I'm hosting all of you here. So why are we now looking at an empty Solvay yard? I mean, we talked about Solvay yard in the last update. It's done, right? Yeah, that's true. But the big thing that involves Solvay that we still need to get done prior to the op session is actually revising the op scheme. As soon as those backdrops are up and I'm good to repopulate the layout fully, the biggest priority we're going to have is revising the op scheme. Remember, before putting in Solvay Yard, everything terminated in Auburn, and that means that there's a very big amount of changes that need to happen as far as car flow is concerned before that can happen. So I'm looking forward to, in the next couple of weeks, being able to work on a revised op scheme in my downtime, and then also possibly testing it out in our Talkin' Trains live streams, so be sure to tune into those. And then we'll put it all to the test in a shakedown session before everybody is traveling in from out of town to experience Finger Lakes layout. All right, so there you have it. We've gotten a ton done over the last couple of months, and it's really thanks to a bunch of my friends that have been over here, you know, a lot this summer, and you know, there's a ton of appreciation on my end for every single person who's been over here helping me build this layout into what it is right now and setting me up to keep it going. You know, there's a ton that still needs to be done as you saw in today's video, but I'm very optimistic and very motivated, especially by stuff like this finished Seneca Lake scene with upgraded lighting, to keep going. There's so much more exciting opportunity left in this layout, and I'm super excited to have you guys along for the ride as we progress it. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because there's plenty more awesome content like this coming. And let me know what you think down in the comments as well. See you in the next one. Take care.